You know, sometimes you come across a question as a independent filmmaker or as a writer, such as the case for myself, where you get asked, if your profession is different, can you still make a film? Absolutely. And that's what I'm going to talk about here. Welcome, story lovers, to the Story Do Show with your host, Jared Dean Winchester, bringing you another episode for the month of September 2024. So let's get right into it, shall we? Let's just say, for instance, you are getting this question from somebody who studies cybersecurity or someone whose job is cybersecurity. Of course you can. You can make a movie about a character who is a cybersecurity expert or somebody who's a cybersecurity specialist, but the only difference is that character needs to know something that is entirely different to other cybersecurity experts. Now he or she needs to be standing out of the crowd. What you can do is you'll also need to give this expert or this specialist the same conflict or the same personal problems, not necessarily the same, but something that creates conflict. At least that's actually what drives your story, conflict. Once you have that conflict and the cybersecurity expert or any expert of your story, your protagonist, embarks on a journey, make the audience care. You use conflict, you use what they've got, what they can do, and in a world that doesn't really accept their worldview, I'm not necessarily saying it has to be that, but typically, conflict arises when your protagonist's worldview isn't taken into account, or if they are not being listened to. If they've got a bright idea, they believe it can work, but no one's listening to them. So create conflict in that manner, and yes, those type of stories can work. Now, if you know a lot about that field, you create the character, but key ingredient is for you to believe in your character and your story. That is the key ingredient. Don't just write it just for the hell of it. Don't just write it because you know it, because writing what you know is an old-fashioned advice. What you want to do is you want to add believing in your characters and believing in your story to this, along with what you know. And that goes for the area of specialty that you excel in. So that's how you make a film about an expert being an expert yourself. So, can be done, but it does take a lot of thought. So what I'm going to recommend you do is grab a fountain pen and some paper. Start writing it down, because a fountain pen forces you to slow down. Do that first, and as the ideas flow, the story will come to you, and slowly you will need to believe in your characters and in your story. So it can be done. So, with that being said, thank you for joining me for this episode of the Story Dude Show. I post anywhere between 2 to 3 episodes per month of this show, so be sure to check them all out. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, until I see you again, don't forget to turn that page.